1. Welcome back to Nerds in the Gym podcast, the only nerd podcast that takes San Diego Comic-Con week off.
Oh, wait, that's this week?
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Marco, and today is July 22nd, 2020. That is right, it is this week.
As we're recording this, today is the last day of San Diego Comic-Con.
Wait, so I think they were supposed to have an entire Lego panel. Yep, that's right, we're back on Legos.
Yep, that's right. Zero research, zero problems. I think they did. They released a bunch of Lego sets.
Oh, they did? Okay,
Yeah.
So that already happened.
Let me see if I can find it.
Because I was getting excited because I was hoping that they would reveal new Indiana Jones ones.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they didn't, apparently.
I know
Because I was seeing it on Reddit.
I know Harry Potter got a pretty big one.
Oh, the Gringotts.
Yep.
So, I was realizing this the other day. Harry Potter does so many cool things with their sets that others don't do. Like, Star Wars has all these cool set pieces and stuff in the movies where they could make cool sets, but they stick to just vehicles all the time. And I understand that they're supposed to be play sets, so I guess vehicles would be easier to sell as a play set idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think they should do more. Like, I know they used to have an old, like, Hoth Echo base and everything. They just came out with a Yavin base, which is cool. But they should really expand a bit more. Stop giving me vehicles. I want a nice like set piece.
I'm trying to find the pictures. I did see the pictures. By the looks, the Lego, they set it up like an old Blockbuster.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of neat with Legos.
They came out with a bunch of Super Mario Legos.
I was just on that website. I couldn't tell. Are those all Comic-Con ones?
I think this is San Diego Comic-Con. So this Yavin Rebel Base one was leaked for the longest time with like pictures and everything, but now it's like officially revealed. Yeah, it's coming August 1st.
My thing is like, there's no way that should be $200.
Oh yeah, Star Wars Legos are always what's it called? Like the price is always upscaled from what it really is.
Well, I assume because they have to pay for the license, but at the same time...
No, they don't. Lego's Disney.
Really?
Disney owns Lego, I'm pretty sure.
So that's even worse. Then how come they have Legoland still?
Disney?
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe they don't.
Ooh, fake news.
Because they do have Legoland and stuff, so I thought that Disney had like a large at least stock in it.
So
So they're privately owned. Okay, that makes sense then.
So our boy Trent is at the movies right now, so he couldn't be with us today. He hit up that Lego shop, he was telling me. Got some of his Lego Batman figures.
Cool.
So that's pretty neat.
I didn't even know that they made this set though, the spider tank for the Mandalorian.
I think it's new.
It is. That this was a San Diego one.
You get your piece in yet for your Indiana Jones?
They get the boulder.
Whatever piece you're missing.
So I still have to get the boulder, and I have to get he's Satipo. He's the character that Doc Ock plays in the intro scene. So I need to get that character too. But aside from that, I have all the pieces.
Looks like they did a Endor Speed Chaser diorama. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I knew about that one. I just saw that at Target a couple weeks ago.
But again, $80 for an hour and a half to build.
So that one actually may have way more pieces than you think. Those diorama ones are usually way higher in pieces. Although that one's 608 pieces, that's more in line with the price.
But again, the helmet's $70 each. Commander Cody, Captain Rex.
Yeah.
What we need to do, we need to get you a part-time job at Barnes & Noble and start flipping Legos.
Do they sell Legos there?
That they do.
I did not know
and
that.
Employees get a sweet discount, so...
Really? Have you ever seen this Lego set here?
I'll tell you what I do. You and me will go halvesies on it. You'll get the job, and then after like 2 days, I'll show up, and we'll just split it.
Okay.
Oh, that's a pretty sweet one. What's that?
This is the Batcave Shadow Box. So,
but if you look at that's the '90s Batman. So
yeah. So
Batman 2.
So you build this entire case.
Yeah.
And then inside the case, you can open it up, and it's like the entire Batcave.
Oh, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
They probably pocketed it.
But yeah, you got like the original Batman figures too. Pretty cool set.
Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Great casting choice, honestly.
Oh, man's a gem.
Speaking of Indiana Jones, though, you finally saw it.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the movie?
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while to get tickets, which sounds ridiculous, but that's our theater.
Yep.
Finally saw it. It is, 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
1 hour and 55 minutes of pure bliss.
Mm-hmm.
The first hour and 55, it is one of the greatest action movies of the last probably 20 years.
Yes.
It is a throwback to the first two, and although they came out in the 80s, are straight up 1970s adventure movies.
Yep.
Harrison Ford blows you away with his acting.
Oh, his acting is incredible.
He has always been amazing, but I heard he did zero preparation to get back into Indiana Jones.
He is Indiana Jones.
I enjoyed the goddaughter aspect.
Mm-hmm.
The first 15 minutes were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even care about the de-aging.
The de-aging was super good. Like, it obviously had its moments where it was like, but it was incredible.
After the first 15 minutes where they're walking back up the hill after causing massive chaos, you could have stopped the movie right there.
Yeah.
I would have
paid $10 to watch a 15-minute movie.
$1 a minute. I would have liked to watch it at home at that point, but I didn't need any reason why the dial's important. I didn't need to know what happens in 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I would have been like,
yeah.
If they gave me one of those every other year, a 15-minute fight sequence, I would die happy. So anyways.
Imagine like an Indiana Jones, though, like, not like a show where it's like, okay, over the course of 3 months, you get 12 episodes, one episode every week. But imagine if they had this like long-running show where it's like every year we get a de-aged adventure of him that's like 20 minutes long.
20 minutes, or I want Sherlock.
Yeah.
One season of Sherlock's like 3 hours.
That's...
So anyways, I like the goddaughter. I like the story.
Mm-hmm.
They had me with the little boy. They had just enough of the old characters coming back. It was funny. It was witty. And an hour and 55 minutes in, you know where I'm talking about?
Going back in time?
Going back in time.
I actually really like that aspect of the movie.
Hard pass.
Really?
So Indiana's hurt. He's on the plane. They're going to let the woman drive the motorcycle to save him. They got the boy doing his thing.
I thought that was a great sequence.
I was okay with it. So it's going...
Yeah.
And you're like, here we go.
Yeah.
Sky battle.
Mm-hmm.
How's Indy going to pull it out this time?
He just sits there.
No. So again, they go through the wrong portal, and now all of a sudden they've time traveled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm still with you. Don't love it. I would rather them say it could happen instead of showing it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's more Indiana Jones. Like, we have to stop this because this could happen.
Well, the thing is the villains always see it happen.
Mm-hmm.
He never really sees it happen.
Right.
But the reason why I like this is because I think it comes full circle for him as on his adventures.
Give me 1 second. So anyways, I'm good with the time travel. Fine. He sees it's possible.
Yep.
I don't need him interacting. I find it hard to believe the Romans could shoot down a German plane.
That was fun.
But anyways, so long story short, we have our hero.
Mm-hmm.
And I say hero now because he was a reluctant hero. He didn't want to come out of retirement. He was done.
Mm-hmm.
I love that story for him.
Mm-hmm.
He slowly becomes Indiana Jones again.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still an older Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
They're not making him do flips or running fast or anything.
He's weak.
Not weak, but he's older.
Well, like it's not like he had his youth to be able to really physically attack his enemies and stuff. Like, we see them literally just sit him down physically multiple occasions.
Right. So, and I'm good with that. It's sad, but it's where we're at with
Yeah.
the story. Our hero, for 5 movies, they leave him crying on a beach, begging to die.
Mm-hmm.
No. I don't want to see 70-year-old Indiana Jones begging to be put out of his misery.
Well, it wasn't that. What it was is for once in his life he achieved what he's always looked for, which is history.
Nope.
And it wasn't necessarily that he wanted to die right then and there. He wanted to experience history.
No.
And I thought it was great. And he lost everything he had at home. His son
Mm-hmm.
and his wife.
He was shot and bleeding without the medical care. He was asking to be put down like an old dog.
Yeah, and we saw how he was. He was severely depressed.
Right. And so this whole movie, the point was to find that spark he lost.
Mm-hmm.
And after 2 hours,
Mhm.
and now at this point, 15 minutes, because those soldiers looked weird, man. I don't know what it was about it, but everything was that dark and thing, and then all of a sudden you go back in time and everything's bright
Yeah.
and a little too beautiful. It was weird. But anyways. And he's just groveling. Oh, I guess I should move the mic over so I'm on camera. And he is just groveling for his life. That's not a hero, Marco.
But that's part of the Indiana Jones character. Is we also see him in the Temple of Doom. He is talking about fortune and glory, but then he completely changes his perspective once he's shown that there's more to these artifacts than the money that he can get from them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like kind of like the same setup in this movie. Is he had to be shown why he shouldn't have given up on his life back at home.
Wrong. They didn't show him anything. They took the choice out of his hand. Marco, they essentially showed him committing suicide.
But he didn't. He's back
They
home.
stopped him.
Yeah.
And again, perfect movie right up until that scene on the beach.
Mhm.
If they had Indiana Jones take the plane over and then crash land it back in his time, or I don't even care if he crash landed in the future. Whatever that ending was. But for him to grovel on the beach to be put down. And then what does Indiana Jones do? He gets overpowered by one punch.
Mhm.
Again.
Mhm.
So the choice was taken out of his hand.
Yeah.
He's the hero, Marco. He's the main character. You don't take the choice out of his hand.
It's okay.
And then
I was fine with it.
And then somewhere in between waking up in his time,
He lost all of his clothes.
no, his wife
Oh.
comes back. What could a goddaughter specifically said that she just moves back in?
I don't think it was her. I think it was Sala.
Either way, what could they possibly say where she files for divorce and now it's like, oh, hey, Indy just went back in time and
Yeah.
you wanted to die. You should probably come back.
Well, specifically, she was happy that he was back on his adventures. He was back to him.
Is she really happy that he's getting the snot beaten out of him every other weekend?
Hey, she must have been.
So that is my problem with it. And again, Marco, I'm just happy these movies are getting made.
Mhm.
So for me to have that opinion, I think
Right.
the problem is me sitting still for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And the payoff is, boy, won't you let me die?
So I hope that they release the alternate endings to this movie.
Me too. Because from someone at work, I don't know why we're pretending. Trent told me there's like 4 alternate endings.
I told you that too, didn't I?
Well, honestly, you probably told Trent, and then Trent told me.
Yeah.
We are
no.
pretty much gossip girls at this point. Marco.
There's like 4 alternate endings to it, and I think there's like 10 versions of the movie in general. It's like a
Game.
Fallout video game.
I would pay good money to see the alternative versions.
Yeah. Well, what could be fun about it too is if fans had the option of how the story of Indiana Jones ends
So
in their own terms.
at the library growing up, when I was like 8 years old, they had Choose Your Adventure books,
Yeah.
and they had an Indiana Jones one.
Uh-huh.
So if they want to do that, and then just have a mass voting of which one is real,
Yeah.
and we'll use that for canon,
Mhm.
that is my only problem.
Yeah.
I think I would have been okay with the time travel if he wasn't left sniveling on the beach.
Yeah.
Also, where was Short Round?
Yeah, that's a bit.
How come Short Round's not his PA?
Well, so
or his teacher's
what
assistant,
sucks
his
about
TA?
that is everybody's upset about Short Round not being there, which I completely understand.
Short Round finally has an acting career, Marco.
He just started acting again for like the
Right.
first time in 40 years.
And he's getting awards, and Harrison Ford and him are hugging every other week, and you couldn't give him a phone call.
Well, I think it's hard because the movie had already finished filming by the time his like whole coming out of retirement and getting an Oscars and stuff happened.
Imagine there's just a scene where Harrison Ford has to talk Short Round into coming out of retirement, and he just alludes to all the adventures they've had. He's just like, Indy, I got a family. My shoulder is shattered. Oh no, he'd call him Dr. Jones.
Yeah.
It's
Dr.
like,
Jones.
Dr. Jones, no. I put my body on the line, I get beat up, I get kidnapped, and we get no money.
So here's my theory. In some, like, alternate movie that happens, too, is that Mutt isn't dead. His son. Okay.
I thought they were going to time travel to save Mutt.
I was actually kind of hoping that Shia LaBeouf showed up on screen.
My thing is, like, this is a weird thing where I'd almost rather they recast Mutt. Because you can't... I think Shia LaBeouf, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's at this point where, in order to make a movie, and Robert Downey Jr. talks about it, you have to get insured. The actors have to be insured.
Mm-hmm.
So when Robert Downey Jr. was getting arrested and had his drug problem, it was so expensive to insure him, because if he overdosed or died or couldn't complete the movie, there was no way to get insurance back for the studio.
Harrison Ford, though, doesn't like Shia LaBeouf.
I wonder why.
Shia LaBeouf, like...
tried to big dog him.
Well, he was very critical of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, can't do that.
Yeah. Like, and he was questioning the stuff on set while they were filming it.
I mean, probably rightfully so at that point, but Harrison Ford's a 70s actor. You show up, you read the words, you go home, 3 months later you go on talk shows and talk about it.
Yeah. But, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, so, like, my idea in an alternate movie is that, Mutt is held captive for an extremely long period of time because what happened is he stopped fighting once he found out about some artifact in that area, and he knows it's an artifact that his dad has talked about, so he goes searching for it, gets held captive. Short Round is looking for that same artifact, runs into Mutt being held captive. They have a conversation point. He figures out who Mutt is.
Is Indiana Jones in this movie?
At the end, when they bring the artifact back to him, it's not an Indiana Jones movie.
This is a spin-off.
It's a spin-off.
Is it just called Round or Short Round? Or Mutt Round?
Mutt Round is the
Short
one I was
Round.
going with.
Let me tell you about this Indiana Jones list. Indiana Jones. You're doing what Sony's doing with the Spider-Man movies. They're just like, hey, we have a universe without the character.
Here's the thing, though, is in terms of adventure movies, I don't think any universe can do it like Indiana Jones is the thing.
Correct.
And so, like, the mystery and the history that they make behind these artifacts is so interesting that pulls you in more.
I believe there is historical fact behind some of these.
Yeah.
These aren't made up.
No, they're not made up. Obviously, their powers and stuff are.
Right. But
like,
they do have a backstory.
But, like, the whole, like, even the Dial of Destiny, one of the big things is the Germans did search for these artifacts during World War II all the time. That was a big thing. But Voller being hired by the U.S. government for the whole going to the moon project.
Are we still talking Indiana Jones?
Yeah, Dial of Destiny. That's Matt Mikkelsen's character, the villain.
Oh, the Nazi. Sorry.
Yeah. So, like, that was a real thing. The U.S. hired Nazi scientists to help us with that stuff. So, like, all that is true. The whole Archimedes dial being found in, like, the river or the ocean where they were, that is where the real Antikythera device was found.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. There's historical backstory,
Oh, yeah.
so it makes sense. This is where I'm torn. I doubt they do another one because of the financial repercussions. And I don't know if I'd want another one.
I
Because
think
if you do two back to back like this, then Indiana Jones is remembered as the last two movies.
yeah.
I found myself like hour and a half in, they were doing the race through the streets of, wasn't India,
It was Morocco.
Morocco. And I just thought, man, like, what a waste that they didn't do like two more of these movies in the 90s.
Well, that's like part of what that entire intro scene is for.
Mm-hmm.
Is like it's kind of payback to the fans for not giving that movie.
Well, that's the thing. That first 15 minutes could have been a movie at any point.
So you know that Spielberg always signed on for 5 movies for Indiana Jones, right?
I did not know that.
He was always signed in to do 5 Indiana Jones movies.
From the get-go?
Yes. Or maybe after the first one, he had signed on that there would be 5 movies total.
So the
After
year was
success of-
1983 was the second one, right?
I think 85 or 4.
Okay. Anyways, mid to early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So this was before Spielberg was Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So
So 84 was Temple of Doom.
okay. Sorry, I keep thinking Raiders came out in 80, but it was 81.
It was 81, yeah.
84 and then 89. So they did 3 movies in a decade.
Mm-hmm.
On top of Harrison Ford's other commitments.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy if you think about it.
Yeah, he ended up doing 2 Jack Ryan movies.
2 Jack Ryan movies. At
Force
least one
One.
more Star Wars movie in there.
Yeah, episode 6 is in there.
I'm trying to think. When was 5? Was 5...
5 is 1982, I believe.
Oh, so in that same time period, he did 2 Star Wars movies, 3 Indiana Jones movies.
The first one was 79, if you think about it.
Right. I knew that. So...
Oh, wait.
But that's a pretty busy decade.
Yeah. And this is when actors only did like 1 movie a year.
Well,
2.
it could be because the movie would come out and be in theaters for 2 years.
Okay, so Star Wars was 1977, episode 4.
So this is the confusing part with Star Wars, is the initial release versus when it caught fire versus it was in theaters for 3 years.
Yeah. So the initial one, 1977, Empire Strikes Back, 1980.
Yep.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, 81. Blade Runner, 82. Return of the Jedi, 83. Temple of Doom, 84. Witness, 85.
That's the one I was telling you about with the Amish.
86 is Mosquito Coast. Working Girl.
He was literally doing 1 movie a year.
Yeah. Working Girl, 88. 89, Crusade.
Mm-hmm.
Presumed Innocent.
So that is just the technology at the time, because it probably took him 6 months to make that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 8.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you look at this, no wonder he doesn't want to do Indiana Jones. He's like, look, I've done 3 of them. 3 years of my life. I want to do other things.
Mm-hmm.
So Working Girl's been on sale a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about it, but now that I know it's an 80s Harrison Ford movie,
It's
I might have to
it's a
check it out.
romantic comedy.
say less, Marco. Say less.
Hey, we saw how he was in Shrinking. Phenomenal.
Marco, he has a Hall of Fame acting career just in the last 3 years.
Oh wait, yeah, wait. Can we talk about his performances as Han Solo again in The Force Awakens?
2015.
In 2049, he reprises Rick Deckard in Blade Runner.
Was that good? I never saw it.
Oh, it was really good.
Secret Life of Pets 2?
Oh yes. And then Dial of Destiny as Indiana Jones again. He brought back these 3 characters that were huge for their time.
Yep.
And he absolutely nails the roles again.
And that's just movies. That's not even including Shrinking. I didn't see Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild, I think, was a movie he made for himself.
Yeah.
Because Jack London, the author of Call of the Wild, that was a really big book in his Harrison Ford's time. I read it in school.
money.
Well, it was a CGI dog.
Yeah.
But anyways, man, he's the Tom Brady of actors at this point. He's had a second Hall of Fame career in the last half.
Yeah.
But if you look, there's at some point he did retire.
And these aren't even all of his movies either. These are like selected credits.
Oh, okay. Well, now I feel like a fool.
Because I don't know. Oh, 88, he had 2 movies, Frantic and Working Girl.
I would guess one of those was more of a cameo.
Probably. One
I don't
main,
know.
main
Never
character, yeah. Wait, what is this? It's a neo-noir mystery thriller? That's interesting.
But these are the years I remember because these became TV movies in my like early teen years. So like Presumed Innocent, Patriot Games, The Fugitive, Clear and Present Danger. Those are all movies that would be on TV.
Yeah.
He was a legit action star in the 90s.
Yeah.
Air Force One, 6 Days, 7 Nights.
But they don't make action stars like him anymore either.
Are you telling me Vin Diesel is not as good as Harrison Ford?
Yes, I am.
Is that what you're saying to me right now?
Yeah. So here's the thing, though, about Harrison Ford's roles that are different. About action heroes nowadays are too much superhero, I feel like.
Well,
there
is no action movie. It's
Yeah.
just superhero.
Yeah. He had these roles that were somewhat grounded. Like, he's a real human being that just so happens to go through these crazy events and manages to come out on top without overpowering his villains.
They're story driven.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's a lot of Harrison Ford doing the heavy lifting in these movies. You're not looking at CGI. You're not looking at big explosions. It's a lot of Harrison Ford carrying the rock.
Yeah.
Not the actor, the metaphorical rock.
I wonder what this movie was like that was in Cowboys and Aliens with Daniel Craig.
This was the beginning of the end. It was Cowboys and Aliens, and then that movie we always talk about that was a book series. We look it up once a month.
Ender's Game?
Yes. They called him out of retirement, gave him like a blank check, told him to fill in how much money he wants, and then they both tanked.
So this movie was bad too?
I'm assuming so. Should we do a watch along with it?
Maybe we should. Oh my goodness. I love how he basically he's basically Indiana Jones in this one. The weird part about this movie is he's wearing like a fedora and everything. And it comes out right after the Alien Indiana Jones movie.
I think it was all part of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
You keep calling it fedora, but they're cowboy hats. He wears a fedora in Indiana Jones, but that's a cowboy hat, Marco.
Where is this? The type of fedora worn by Ford. Oh, in the Indiana Jones movies. Never mind.
We done with Indiana Jones for a minute? We'll hit some other Comic-Con news.
Yeah.
He-Man was before our time, but are you familiar with it? It was like an 80s cartoon, shirtless guy with a sword.
Wait, He-Man cartoon?
Type in He-Man shirtless and then just hit I'm feeling lucky.
Oh, wait, no. I know what that's going to pop up with now.
Oh, I could have kept it together. I thought you were doing a bit.
So
for those that can't see Marco's screen, he started typing He-Man shirtless.
So I know this because Joe's daughter loves this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Netflix was supposed to make a live action one.
Okay.
Kevin Smith does like the cartoon one.
Were they going to get like a young Arnold to play him or something?
They had an actor picked, but anyway, so they spent $30 million in pre-production and then just canceled it.
Interesting. Oh man, that could have been. Luckily, I didn't have my screen being shown.
My favorite thing is to try to get people to do that at work while they're on the work servers.
You could probably have gotten me to do that.
I'm sure.
If we were at work and you had me do that and didn't crack, I would have.
Oh yeah. Marco, the idea that I can't just lock your keyboard, which I can remotely, and just do whatever I want on your device, it's been very tempting. Especially because like I work on the camera, so I know where you are at the building when I see you walk by. So it's just like, oh, guess Marco's downloading a lot of torrents.
All right. Any other Comic-Con news that you're going through?
I might have to bust out my phone notes. So what happened was with the writer's strike, Comic-Con got kind of watered down.
Yeah.
They released a Marvel's trailer, but I didn't watch it. Have you seen the footage from the writer's strike?
Like out on the streets, what's happening?
Yeah.
So
just A-list actors doing interviews.
So actually, maybe I have it on there. Ignore that. This is me trying to get Joe's opinions on Indiana Jones still.
Sorry.
I saw a picture today. Remember the Aunt May from the Tobey Maguire one?
Yeah, she's a very famous actor. Her name is...
What is her name? Spider-Man. What was it? 2002.
Yep. No. 2002 is Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Oh, did you say Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of Aunt May
what...
from the Andrew Garfield ones.
So I'm pretty sure she's doing the strike, and she's 95.
I respect it.
Let me see if I can find the picture.
Marco, if there was any justice, someone would hand her a sign that says, "You can't do it all. You're not Superman, you know."
95 years old. She's
Good for
out
her.
there fighting with her old cane and everything.
But yeah, that's just a missed photo op if someone didn't hand her a sign that says, "Pay us more, we're not Superman, you know."
Jeez, I didn't realize she was that old.
Well, you know the one that's leading the actor strike is Fran Drescher. She was the nanny in the 90s sitcom The Nanny.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know, like all the Ted Lasso people are out there?
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because you see Coach and Ted Lasso just hanging out with their signs.
Yep.
Because they're all like friends in real life, so it's just...
Yeah. Who else is out there that's like... Imagine if Harrison Ford was out there.
Just in a helicopter.
You would crash it into them. Come on.
The actor that plays in Guardians of the Galaxy... I can't think of her name.
He said terrible. Worse than Crystal Skull. Did you see that? Do you think he's being serious or messing with me?
I don't know. You could try and get him on speaker.
I could try to do that.
I don't know what he's up to. This character.
Yeah,
Quill's sister.
Mantis.
Mantis. She was out there. Deadpool got shut down.
So that entire thing that they were even filming with the writer's strike happening was insane to me, but...
Well, I think it's going to save the movie shutting it down because
Yeah.
now they can go back to ad-libbing when it gets...
Did you see how much money the writer's strike is causing studios to lose?
No. How much?
I think it's like $600,000 per day.
It's a good chunk of money.
And I think somebody said if this continues up until Christmas, it would be $600 million that the studios lose.
Well, the thing, Marco, is like they pump out material so quick now, and they make it so quick. We're going to be out of the back catalog in months.
Have you seen... Hold on. So... Oh, I didn't want to go bookmarks, but I sent this message to Trent today, actually.
Dear Trent, haven't spoken to you in 15 hours.
Okay, so...
I miss you.
So this is the tweet. So it's pathetic studios rely on CGI this much, but like they CGI everything in this scene except for Nick Fury and the chair he's sitting in.
Right.
Now, this guy is also involved in movies more so than just these reviews that he does on here.
So here's, in their defense, I haven't seen the show yet. There's no way Nick Fury's office, they would have had to build this entire set.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be cheaper for them to build it?
I don't think so. I think that's why... Remember during COVID, they came out with that screen for The Mandalorian?
Yeah. But no, this is actually the real reason why.
Hit me with it.
They use CGI for things that don't need CGI, so they can change them at any point in post-production when executives inevitably demand changes based on market research or the censorship laws of other countries.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say, you ever wonder why blood spurts are CGI now? Even though practical squibs have been around for decades and look much better, it's so they can just re-render the scene without blood when they need to get past censors in the overseas markets.
Makes sense.
It's also why they shoot movies the way they do now. Modern movies are shot for coverage, meaning they get as many angles as possible, so they always have to cut away to when they have to remove something or add in a pickup shot later. And it says, have you ever wondered why... ever watched a scene in a movie and wondered why it suddenly cuts to a random reaction shot that doesn't add anything? It's because they cut something out and had to cut away to something else for a second so you wouldn't see a jump cut.
Huh.
So it's like all this editing is being done for them to maximize their profits in the overseas markets and stuff in places where there's restrictions, as opposed to just making the movie the way it was intended to be seen.
Okay. I mean, it's all driven by money.
Yeah.
So you're saying Oppenheimer should be forced to be released in Japan? That's what you're saying?
I'm not saying that at all.
That's what I heard.
What, what edits could they do to release it in Japan?
Just a 45-minute version of Matt Damon. And instead of saying nuclear weapon, they just say, like, fluffernutter sandwiches. And they film a bonus scene where he just hands it out to someone in Japan.
Were they like the atomic warheads?
That's what the entire movie's about.
The creation of the spicy jawbreakers.
Exactly. Just choose some candy.
Oh wait, they're getting that in a few months. The Wonka movie.
Just things we don't need. The Wonka movie.
It looks terrible. Did
They
you see the trailer?
I did not. I did see the side-by-side of Timothy Chalamet in his Wonka costume and Gonzo from The Muppets Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the exact same outfit.
Is it really?
So Comic-Con was kind of a dud.
Yeah, I'm actually
didn't
kind
really-
of bummed out because I was looking forward to new Indiana Jones Lego sets.
And the thing is, Marco, if they don't come out this year, I don't think they're ever going to come out.
No, you're exactly right. It's never going to happen. Because the rumor was there were supposed to be Dial of Destiny Lego sets revealed. But that's clearly not happening. Apparently there are 4 to 5 more sets planned to be released second half of this year.
It's going to be the reuniting at the apartment. So it's going to be like 6 Legos and then just 2 Indiana Jones.
We
And
have
Chris
his
kissing.
bed, we have, the kitchen and everything. You can open the refrigerator if you want.
It's
put the
going to be
groceries in
called
it.
Give Them Hell, Indiana. And then it's just a car, Harrison Ford, and his friend going like this. But it's a Lego brick, so his arm's going to be going like this.
Yeah.
What if they just did the train scene for the first 15 minutes, just the entire train?
I think that I'm hoping that's actually a set. Is the train sequence
Let's be honest, they're going to do the airplane.
from the end.
Yep.
Yep. I think the train sequence though is a very high possibility.
I
The
think
train
that'd be a big market.
sequence, the plane sequence, and the tuk-tuk chase are going to be the ones.
I'm going to throw something at you. They're going to do the fedora and whip, like the helmet collections they do.
That's actually not a bad idea.
It's an awful idea. It's all brown. You know how long that's going to take?
No, there's black.
I'm just trying to think of some funnier ones that would be better. The classroom.
The
Indiana
classroom.
Jones doing a slideshow.
What about the scuba diving scene?
Not bad. It's tough with Legos, though.
Yeah.
What about... And again, this isn't Indiana Jones.
What about
The-
when they're at the bar?
That's just so bad. They're just like, all right, here you go. What about in the storage for the college? All right, we got 4 racks. Indiana Jones can knock them over.
Can we get a set where he's shirtless and he has to go get changed and then bang on the door to tell the party to
That was
quiet
so
down?
weird, so unnecessary, and so weird. All right, Harrison, go ahead, whip that top off. Pop that top off.
He was the one that wanted that.
I believe it.
Yeah. Because he had that, he shot that scene right after he injured his shoulder really badly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, it looked like crap, felt like crap. He's like, so I wanted to show that on screen.
Other scenes from that movie they could do is just when he has to tell his friend he's crazy and he's taking the Dial of Destiny, and then he has the little girl at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
It's just Harrison having the Dial of Destiny, his friend crazy in his pajamas, and it's just one staircase.
Let's have Lego get really out there. They had the scene of him being hanged when the missile shoots down.
Marco, they do it, was it once a year? They have people submit Lego designs, and then like that's how they made the Friends Lego.
Yeah.
And you have to do. If we start now and we make that set and then we try and force it, we'll buy bots to vote. We'll just really push it, and it'll just be like a piece of string and Indiana Jones is hanging. And if we get really intricate, use your brother's physics degree. You know those dolphins on people's desks that go like this?
Yeah.
And go left and right forever because of momentum?
Yeah.
And then just have it go left and right. Indiana Jones getting hung, the weapon of mass destruction through the floor. A bunch of Nazis. Make sure you draw the Nazi symbol on some of your Legos. And just really, really push Lego to the brink.
We get Lego shut down.
Marco, we might.
Or let's get crazier. Let's have Lego make an Oppenheimer set.
Just so dumb. You'll have to see the movie because I can't sit through a 3-hour movie at the theater. I feel like such an old man. But at one point in Indiana Jones, like I was getting ready to stand up and stretch. I didn't even tell you the best part about Indiana Jones. So I went straight from work. I had Marina meet me at work because it's the only time to get the tickets is at $3.50. So at 3:30 I bought tickets. Entire back row's clear. We get there for 4 o'clock. The movie just ended. Like you saw Lucasfilm on the screen and then we walked in. And then so we sit down. All of a sudden our entire row is filled up. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, so I had my headphones from work, my AirPods. And we stand up getting ready to go. And Marina goes, "What fell?" And I go, "I didn't hear anything." I get home, didn't think anything of it. Next day at work, I go, "Oh man, I forgot my AirPods at home." I get home, 7 o'clock. I go, "Where are my AirPods?" And I look at my phone, tracked it, and it was like, "Oh yeah, they're at the movie theater." Those things beep at me all the time if I leave them on my desk at work. Or if they're in my pocket, it thinks they're lost. Didn't beep once. I lucked out that it actually sent like a, "Hey, you forgot these here?"
Yeah.
But I had to go into the app. And it was like 7 o'clock the next night, so I couldn't go because it was just filled with Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
So I went the next morning. They're underneath the seat, luckily. I get to my car. I go, "Oh, man, the case must have been dead." Nope, 85%. I get into my car to drive away. 15 alerts pop up saying I left them at the movie theater. I was like, "Thank you so much, Apple."
Well, the worst part about them is who designed the material for that casing?
I don't know. What's wrong with the casing?
It's so slippery.
You think yours is slippery, Marco? Try having it covered in butter for 24 hours. Or no, like day and a half.
Yeah, that's true.
36 hours of butter. I was like, "Oh, these are..." I'm just so glad, anytime I drop that case, the headphones just pop out.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they didn't pop out.
And then you have to look all over the theater for them.
There's just no way to ever get clean again.
Yeah, that's true.
Those things smell like butter for the next 2 days.
Just, sit them in alcohol for a little bit.
Well, I'm glad your brother got to go to the theater. Did he go in Phoenix?
I believe so.
Well, because it's not playing anymore. I checked this morning for movie times. There's like 75 Barbie showings, 6 Oppenheimer showings, 4 Mission Impossible.
That movie's getting incredible reviews, Barbie.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Out of Oppenheimer and Barbie, I'm more likely to go see Barbie.
Yeah, I think I'll have to go see it. Yeah, you want to go after this? You working?
Yeah, I got work.
Oh.
Marco, what I need you to do, you got Google Glasses yet?
No.
Get some Google Glasses and then just go to the movies and wear them for me. Because at this point, it's the only way I'm going to see the movies. It's just you sitting there.
What if I went there, but I streamed it to you? Because you don't really do much on Saturdays for work, do you?
My job is pretty relaxed on Saturdays.
Yeah. So if I just streamed it to you, so then
using what product?
Using the Google Glasses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then you can just watch it at work.
Right. That's my thing, because otherwise, I almost missed Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I almost missed it by 3 days.
But you're happy you saw it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Joe probably saw either the last showing or the second to last showing.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Speaking of the Google Glasses, have you seen the Apple Vision Pro thing that's coming out?
Trent was telling me about it at work. Not to make you jealous, but we talk about technology.
Yeah. So it's like these wacky things that pretty much obviously that's what she's seeing through the glasses, but pretty much puts your displays up in front of you in real time.
The thing is, people are going to buy these, and it's so dumb, Marco, because the average person, if you're not a coder, doesn't need this. You're going to have people calling you on the I'd be like, hey, yeah, my Apple display.
Mm-hmm.
I usually have my email over here,
Yeah.
and my other email here, and they're reversed. Is all it's gonna be.
But like, the problem is this is like $3,500. I think
It's insane. People have the money, but
it's $3,500, and I think it has like a 2-hour battery life. But one of the big things that Apple has been pushing is they're like,
that can't be good for your eyes.
but it's like if it's plugged in, it has unlimited battery. It's like that's how anything works.
Marco, imagine being the first sucker that had that thing catch on fire on your face.
Imagine being the first person to go blind from this thing.
You're gonna be the wealthiest blind person on the block.
But yeah, no. Maybe I could buy a pair of these and like get it for you, like the movie streamed for you.
I just like, Mom's credit card's got a $5,000 limit, so we can get one and put a down payment on one for me. Marco, we should both get a set and then just share screen. We'll be living 2 lives simultaneously.
Oh man.
Honestly, buddy, we should get everyone to have them, and then you just beep into other people's vision. They're like, oh, looks like Brandon's cooking.
Wait until these things get put in the hospital, and everybody.
Marco, most of the hospital tech is from like 2002, so I can't even imagine.
Oh, believe me, I know those square monitors they still have.
The ones that the technology, like the desktop, is almost going to make the monitor obsolete.
Yeah.
It's like really close to making that monitor.
No, that's my job right now. They put me on the project to switch out all the thin clients, to find all the ones that are outdated, and then mark if there's a square monitor still with them, because we have to replace all those monitors for the new ones coming in.
Mm-hmm. It is crazy. We shouldn't talk too much about work on this thing.
Yeah,
on the 1% chance.
Yeah. Luckily, we didn't say too much.
Yeah, we didn't say anything about where you work.
Yeah. Did I?
I don't know. It's probably on your Twitter. Come visit me at...
I didn't reveal too much information.
I'm just kidding, but...
Yeah. But, yeah.
Let me...
I don't know. Indiana Jones will probably end back in theater, though, after a couple weeks of Barbie and Oppenheimer. And Mission Impossible. Have those 3 movies plus Indy.
So, the only way I can see it going back into theaters after it goes to streaming is if it's up for some awards. And I don't know about Harrison Ford's awards, but if he's due for...
He's never won an Oscar.
So this might be the point in his career that give him an Oscar.
Yeah.
For like a lifetime achievement thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? How like Leonardo DiCaprio shouldn't have gotten one for the Bear movie, but they felt bad.
Although I'm hearing that Cillian Murphy's probably going to get it for Oppenheimer.
Possible. It came out this week. They're just like, Oppenheimer has a lot of sex scenes and nudity. And I was like, are we still talking about the nuclear bomb?
I heard that there's like a 15 to 20 minute sex scene.
A 20-minute?
They just made a full-on porno.
Marco, just imagine that you're just in a theater full of strangers just watching that go down.
And we know that Christopher Nolan doesn't use CGI.
Nolan's just obviously, like, they didn't even cut him out of the thing. He's just standing over them staring. Turns out Nolan's kind of a perv. I don't know how graphic you want to get on that, but he's just like, all right, I need more sweat. Didn't you make Batman? You're damn right I did.
Yeah, he killed Heath Ledger.
Like, oh my gosh. Just the most absurd.
Heath, I'm going to need more insanity.
There's also so many cast members that are like A-list. Like, what are you going to have Robert Downey Jr.? I didn't even see him in the trailer yet.
No, he was in the trailer, I think.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they really showed Albert Einstein in the trailer.
They really, they let the modern take of Albert Einstein where now he's just a strong young woman. Called Allie Einstein. They really...
Is that what's next in 2023 as they try changing history so then it...
That's the twist, is Florence Pugh is playing Allie Einstein. Well, again, Florence Pugh is just like... She went from like an unknown actress and then like 3 years later is like one of the top actresses in the world.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I'm trying to look at anything from Comic-Con, but... The digital collectibles did a little bit, but
That's. I thought Comic-Con started today and tomorrow was the last day.
no.
But I didn't.
That's why I joke, because every year something happens that we don't talk about Comic-Con.
But yeah, that sucks because I was really hoping for some like Lego Indiana Jones stuff, but
Yeah, they said the writer or actor strike really screwed
yeah,
things up.
that very well could have had an impact on it. So it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, bud, we're right around 50 minutes. We got a little bit of a late start today.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about? Or
No, I you know what? This is one of our better podcasts, I think.
Oddly enough, yeah.
Oh wait, here's Joe's last words. Never thought I'd miss these two so much. He's definitely making jokes right now.
He is funny.
Because I think he told my mom that they really enjoyed it and they said see it and they're happy they saw it in theater.
Oh, your mom is a good source of information.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we've been Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Marco.
We'll catch you on the flippity plop.
Hopefully Lego news comes out.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Let's just everyone calm down.